In a small, quiet town on the outskirts of a forest, there was an old house known for its scary stories. The house belonged to the Shaddadi family, who mysteriously disappeared 50 years ago without a trace. Since then, many stories circulated about strange noises, lights appearing and disappearing, and an overwhelming sense of fear that gripped anyone who approached the house at night. Saeed, a daring young man in his 20s, loved exploring abandoned places and listening to old tales. When he heard about the Shaddadi house, he decided to visit it himself to uncover the truth. He ignored all the warnings he received from the townsfolk, who told him never to approach the house, especially after sunset. One dark night, Saeed took his flashlight and some equipment and headed toward the house. The house looked completely abandoned, its doors and windows covered in dust and cobwebs. However, something strange seemed to draw Saeed inside, as if the house was calling him with an inaudible voice. Upon entering, he felt an eerie stillness envelop the place. The walls were layered with dust, and the floor was littered with old wooden planks. But what caught his attention even more was the strange feeling of cold. As he wandered around the house, Saeed found an old notebook lying on a table in the living room. When he opened it, he read the first words that made his heart race. "If you are reading this message, this is your final warning. Do not continue searching, leave now, and never return." But Saeed, who was used to hearing these kinds of warnings, didn't stop. Instead, his curiosity grew. He began to hear mysterious whispers coming from the upstairs. The voice seemed to be calling his name, Saeed, Saeed. Saeed climbed the stairs slowly, ignoring the fear creeping into his heart. He reached the top floor, where he found a closed door. The door looked older than the rest of the house, covered in strange engravings. He decided to open it, and when he pushed the door, he discovered a small room filled with scattered letters and documents. He began reading some of the letters, and the more he read, the more he uncovered about the family that lived in the house. They had been practicing strange rituals and dark magic to bring fortune and wealth. But things turned against them when they tried to communicate with uncontrollable forces. The letters spoke of curses and ghosts haunting the family, and the final warning was, no one should open this door, or else the curse will return. As Saeed read, he felt something cold pass beside him, like an invisible hand touching his shoulder. For the first time, he felt genuine fear. He tried to leave the room but found the door tightly shut. His breathing became rapid, and the air grew heavy. Suddenly, he heard terrifying laughter coming from everywhere around him, and the whispers grew louder and clearer. "You were warned, but you did not listen." In a moment of desperation, Saeed began banging on the door, trying to open it, but to no avail. The lights started flickering rapidly, and the sounds became more intense and horrifying. He felt something pulling at his leg as if he was being dragged towards the darkness engulfing the room. In a final act of courage, Saeed managed to push the door open and escape the room. He ran towards the outside and left the house.